What's up, guys, and welcome to the Amazing Live. I don't know what episode we're on actually, so maybe you guys can count for me. With that being said, we are gonna have Miss Denise Hoffman. She is a researcher, she is a self-educator, she's always evolving, bettering herself, entrepreneur, recent, I'm guessing, entrepreneur. And she's doing a lot of research, a lot of medical research when it comes to oxidative stress and what it puts on our body. So I am so excited to have her and to join this conversation about how oxidative stress affects us on a day-to-day basis and what she is doing to try to help hundreds and thousands of people. So I'm going to try adding her. Denise, you're going to get some kind of notification to join the screen with me. So we should be good to go soon.
Hi.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Really great. Really good to be on. Thank you. And I apologize if you hear any rain, guys. We've been getting washed out this week.
Oh, God. The weather's been crazy over here, too. It literally snowed 2 days ago. And then,
Oh, wow.
47, 57. So I can't
Yeah.
keep up. But,
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm really privileged to be on.
yeah. No, I'm so excited to talk about this. So, the topic of oxidative stress, where does someone begin to understand as far as like the effects that it has on a day-to-day basis? And yeah, where did you start your education and how can you basically get us sped up on the same page?
Okay, so oxidative stress is actually a natural compound that happens in the body from the day we're born. So it's caused by oxygen to start with in the system. I like to kind of refer to it as, when you're cutting an apple and you leave the apple sitting on the bench. So it looks really pretty and it's all crisp when you first cut it. And then once you leave it there for a while, you start to see it going brown, and after a little while, you don't even want to eat it anymore. Well, that's basically what oxidative stress is. So most people have heard of free radical damage. I think I think free radical damage is more commonly known. It's been talked about a lot more. So what oxidative stress is your body's just overrun with free radicals, and that's caused, unfortunately, in today's era by radiation. We're all on devices all day, pollutions in the air, toxins in the food we eat. It's also caused by an overload of stress factors, and is the cause of major disease in our body. So I like to refer people to PubMed, pubmed.gov, to have a bit of a look at oxidative stress. Type it in. There's about I think there's over 168,000 studies now on oxidative stress in the body, because it's linked to every disease that we know of. There's nothing that they can't link it to. So it's become a very big study. The reason I actually started looking at it was about 2 years ago, more so. I mean, I always knew there was some cell factors in the body. I've worked for naturopaths and I've always loved natural health and been in the sporting field when I was younger. Never really understood the impact of inflammation on my body, and that was my biggest demon. I think most people's are. So I started looking at inflammation and the fact that inflammation actually is what causes most things. It's linked to depression, it's linked to anxiety, it's linked to lots of stuff. So for me and my body, I had a lot of issues after being an athlete for a long time of inflammation, and I had deterioration in several joints. I then had a spinal injury. And so it was after my spinal surgery I started looking more and more into natural health, because I just didn't want to be on pharmaceutical painkillers and drugs. I knew what that was doing to my body. So this product kind of I don't think anything ever comes along. I always say it comes into your life in a season and at the right time. So for me, that's exactly what happened. There was a group of us that were looking for natural alternatives to inflammation and pain relief in our families. There was quite a few of us that had issues. Some had Lyme's disease, which isn't really recognised here in Australia. A few of us some had autoimmune diseases. So when we found this product, and to start with, realised it increased glutathione by 300% over about 120 days. That was massive for us, because we knew already, all of us, what glutathione did in the body. It's your master antioxidant. It's what cleans your cells. It's what keeps them healthy. It kind of dictates a lot of stuff to the other cells in your body. So we were excited about that to start with, and then we started unfolding the science and the fact that this company is the foremost in nutrigenomics in the world at the moment in natural products. To biohack your own gene system and your own cell system excited us. So we just, yeah, we got overexcited for a little while. And I had my head in everything I could read. I spent days just on the computer, just researching and just getting really excited, because I knew from working with a top naturopath here in Australia, I knew what this meant, and I knew that this could change literally every life it touched. People don't often realize that because you can't see something, it isn't happening. We don't see cancer until it's well advanced in the body. You can have cancer for 12 years before it shows itself. You can have a motor neuron disease way before. So the fact that we have a product and a company that's working on gene expression and helping our gene expression in the body, and totally science-backed. In the US there, we have major universities studying our product all the time. We have 23 published peer reviews on our finished product. So for me, it's very, very exciting. I've shared with you, I want to change 1 million lives. Our team's just passionate about health. So for me, just getting stories and testimonials back every day excites me. Absolutely love it.
That's awesome. So how did you, as far as your story and how you got to where you are right now and sharing this amazing product with people, how did you get interested? Did you have kind of like a rock bottom in between trying to find something that you were truly passionate about? I know I did. When it came to leaving fashion forever and then finding coaching, it was much more self-rewarding for me. And so I knew that the more I was coaching, I was stepping more into my truth, and it just felt so genuine. So what was that kind of transition like from what you were doing before to where you are right now?
Okay, well, I've been in the banking industry on and off for a very long time, over 20 years. I've had my own businesses, but I guess I've always loved natural health, and I've always tried to be drug-free, only because I've always been aware of what they do to my body. My body tells me pretty quickly what's going on. For me, I've had a few rock bottoms. So I've had depression, which I was on pharmaceutical drugs for in the past, which really, was a band-aid for me. I called it. I really didn't find a long-term fix, and I'm not saying that's for everyone. That was just for me. I just felt that I wasn't getting the answers I wanted, and I didn't want to be on a long-term, drug that I just felt was, well, is this my only answer? So I've always searched it out. I think after my spinal surgery, that was the lowest point, because I'd lost movement in a lot of my body. I had dropped foot. I was basically at risk of losing a lot of abilities, and I wasn't sure what the surgery was going to be like or where we were going with that. I was very fortunate to have a top neurosurgeon here in Australia perform my surgery. So knowing, that I didn't have going to have a lot of years of taking painkillers afterwards. I have a lower back full of titanium. So it interferes with your body. It's a foreign object. So I really wanted a natural solution. I didn't want to be on ibuprofen. I know the long-term damage of that to the body. Very aware of what it does, to the liver and the kidney and the bowel, and just wanted to be free of that. So that was kind of my rock bottom. And being an athlete for a long time and always being thin and fit and all those things mentally really got to me. I wanted an answer. I wanted to know that I could have something long-term happening in my body where I wasn't reliant on drugs. So when this came along, it was really exciting, and it just gave me hope for everybody, for my own family, for everybody around me, that there's a solution to reducing inflammation in the body and to reducing pain. And, our product doesn't cure, prevent, diagnose, doesn't do anything. It literally activates a cell, and your body is capable of healing itself if it's given the right tools. And I'm a really big believer of that. So this is a tool, and I was excited that I had a tool to put in my toolbox that was going to be able to help me and lots of other people.
Definitely. So going through something like that in itself is just mentally really stressful. how did you on a day by day basis like set your intention for the day and say, you know what, I'm not going to let this get the best of me. I'm going to keep going. Like for me, it's a lot of gratitude journaling and affirmations in the morning. So is there kind of something that you still do to this day that helps you set your intention, um, and kind of sets the mood for the entire day?
Definitely, definitely. Wake up with gratitudes every morning. You know, I have a bit of a saying which everybody around me knows, and I just say, you know, I was blessed this morning because I got to take a breath. You know, I don't take life for granted at all. I'm very, very grateful for every day. So I stayed focused on that. I also have a strong faith in God. So for me, it was that, you know, I had that faith and I held on to that. Sometimes it was by a cobweb very thin strand, you know, but I held on to the fact that I'm created here to give purpose to the world, and I'm, you know, life is beautiful, and it just comes with some challenges. So, you know, that helped me really get through. But gratitude, definitely. I say to everybody, gratitude twice a day. Gratitude in the morning, and I find 5 things in the evening as well, even in a messy day, to be grateful for. And sometimes I'm grateful for the mess. You know, I know it's growing me. So it's just really finding the strength to know that we can get through stuff. You know, moments in time are black dots on a picture. And that's one of the things that I teach a lot of people I work with is find your favorite picture and just stick a black dot in the corner. Our biggest challenge is as big as that black dot. It feels really bad and we're consumed by it at the time, but it's literally a dot on a picture, and you're a tapestry of work, and it's just etching its way into creating you to be who you should be. So it's that belief that gets me through every day.
I love that. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna steal it.
Ah, that's okay. I love to share that with everybody. I seriously, the world needs to know. You just take your best picture and stick a black dot in the corner and look at it, acknowledge it. You know, the worst thing we do as humans is we kind of brush everything over and, oh, I'm okay. You know, sometimes it's okay to sit in that dark space and to know this is real and acknowledge it, because it's part of who we are. It's part of our growing. And when we ignore it, it can actually make us ill, because we suppress so much. So, you know, it's in that freedom to acknowledge it and to sometimes sit in it and to have a good cry. Crying's healthy. You get a lot of stuff out when you have a good cry. And but look at that big picture and know it's just a small part of that, you know, in the scheme of things.
Definitely. And I mean, I just made a live about this last night that we tend to, especially people that are very like type A, they love,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being organized, being in control of things, you know, having everything going their way. You
Mm-hmm.
can tend to almost attract problems because you want something to fix.
Yeah.
And so I noticed myself, especially this year, kind of getting caught up in that victim mentality and always like focusing on what was wrong and not thinking in a solution mindset.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely. I watched the video. I watched that, and I totally agree with you, Em. It was fantastic, and it's so true. You know, I know for myself. You know, there's been times where I've got caught in the why me. You know, nothing's going my way. Life's too hard. You know, why did I have to get the bad back? You know, there's always the whys, but when we turn it around and go, why not? You know, why not me? What can I learn from this? What can I glean from it? How can I grow? Where can I find my strengths? But it's really human nature to err on the side almost of negativity than it is positivity, because that takes a lot of work and a lot of energy. Whereas it's really easy to just sort of slump in a hole and curl up. And you know, I think for most people that I talk to, and when I'm sharing with women, especially in crisis, it's just so easy to sit there. It takes a lot of hard work and energy to actually decide that we're not going to be the victim, and we're going to be strong and get through it. So, and find solutions. I'm a little bit like you. I'm quite creative. So my personality was perfection. You know, I had to be everything to everyone, and I made myself sick through that. You know, you can't be everything to everyone. You can only be everything to yourself, and allow yourself to shine your light on the lives that you're meant to shine them on. You're not there for the whole world. So yeah.
that's awesome. So I love to say this to my clients or, when they're feeling really overwhelmed, they feel like they can't get their workouts in or their meal prep or, all these things that are overwhelming them, like work, family, being somewhere. Um, I always take a look at their schedule, and most
Yeah,
of the time, there's no white space. There's like a list of 20 things every day that they're trying to do.
yeah,
And what I soon realized, especially with my clients, is that the more that you fill in your schedule and the more white space you try to get rid of, all you're doing is avoiding tapping into what's really going on.
yeah.
And we talked about this last night in the live too. But I just want to know from you, what do you do to make sure that you're being filled up every day, not just with work tasks and like checking things off your list? How are you filling yourself up? Like soul goals, I like to call them.
Yeah.
How are you doing
Look,
that?
I burnt myself out. I was a single mum for 20 years, and I really did burn myself out for a long time trying to be, not just a single mum, but to work and to do a lot of stuff. And I never had, as you said, I never had those moments. I was just constantly on the go. There was always something to do, and I just collapsed at the end of the day. And I found in my journey, I suppose, for me, the importance of being kind to me, taking time out. I will often go and just sit in a coffee shop on my own and have a coffee and maybe, sometimes a slice, sometimes not. I might go for a walk on the beach. I'm one for believing that it's really healthy to find your alone time, to find your love for yourself and be able to enjoy that time out, to just sit and reflect and listen. I think it's really important we listen to ourselves, our physical self, our spiritual self. So for me, I do make sure I don't have a full calendar. One of the reasons that I'm involved in this industry and that I love direct sales for people is that they are able to be involved in something where you can do it in the pockets of your day, but hopefully it allows you to have more freedom, to be able to enjoy your family, to enjoy your relationships, and to do life. I, yeah, it's not the norm, 40, 60-hour days is just the norm for a lot of people. And it's unfortunately they lose themselves and they lose their life in that a lot of the time. So I really believe in the freedom, and hence I've chosen this industry because it will give me that. Further down the track, it will allow me to follow the passions I have to work with women in crisis. So
Yeah, I want that kind of leads to my next question. What would you say right now is your overarching why when you wake up in the morning and you're ready to just take on the day? What is
yeah,
at the forefront of your mind while you're working?
mine's always service. I think we're born to serve, and if we find what we love and we're passionate about, service becomes easy. One of the things that I'm really passionate about is women in crisis. So women over the age of 50, homelessness is going to be one of the biggest demographics here. I don't know whether it is in the States. It definitely will be an issue here in Australia. When I hit my 50s and I had my spinal surgery and my future was really bleak, I'm very fortunate. I have a wonderful family and I live on my parents' property in a little bungalow. But if I didn't have that, then I would be one of those high risk factors for a long time. So this business opportunity coming along gave me hope. It also gave me an opportunity to have a business and to grow something. Finding what I was passionate about and it being in the health sector absolutely ticked all my boxes. So my passion is to eventually have a village or something that I set up where I can help women that are at risk of homelessness to come out of despair, to go on a journey of self-discovery and be able to fly again and get out there and do life really well. But sometimes we need just that little space where people can go to recover. And so that's my hope. My dreams are big, and I do trust that we're given dreams for a reason. So for me, it's for my own future, definitely. You know, I want to be able to live a good retirement and not to be stressed about, you know, where I'm going to live or where my finances are coming from. But my passion is to be there for other women. I love to lift people up and encourage them to do life really well. So yeah, so I'm working towards that.
That is so beautiful, and I wanted you to just share that and have that kind of be something on record for when
Thank
it
you.
finally happens. Um, but I just want you to take a second and brag about yourself. And even just since you started this business, is there like one story or one life or transformation that happened? Um, one client really that really sticks out to you that just made this all worth it in your eyes that you want to share with us?
I think I get so many testimonies, you know, not just from my own clients, but from within our team. So I can't really pick out any one because literally they all will bring tears to my eyes, honestly.
Oh,
When you know you've changed a life and you've helped somebody live a better life. But I do have one lady, she has Lyme's disease. And when I first met her, she was so swollen. Her joints were so swollen. I literally, my heart was bleeding as she was walking towards me. I was at an event, and she's just the most beautiful lady. She's actually an entrepreneur. She's had an amazing life, but she's been so sick for the last 8 years. And she'd been on the product about 3 months, and she started to have some results. The swelling started to go down in her joints. She's just gone through major surgery. She's recovered from that really, really well. A lot of the doctors are kind of a little bit curious because she doesn't have the inflammation that she should have, considering she's such a sick lady. She's pain-free. She's sleeping better. I mean, she still has her bad days. You know, she has a chronic virus in her body that attacks her body. But she's doing life. She can drive her car. She can walk. She can meet me for a coffee, which is awesome because she couldn't leave the house. So, you know, for me, she's most probably my reminder of why I do what I do, is that you don't get to see it in everybody. Like my dad's 80 and he's on the product and it helped with some of his arthritis, but I know his cellular wise, it's doing him amazing good in his body and for his brain and stuff. But when you get stories like that where you literally change a life, you have people back on their feet and they're able to live. And my product didn't do that, her body did. I just got a chance to give her something that would activate it. That excites me every day. And you know, I can sit there and read testimonies and just cry that we have the opportunity to share this with the world. It's fantastic.
that's amazing. That's awesome. And it's amazing how when it comes to health and wellness in general, it trickles over into the rest of your life, your confidence
Mm.
level, how you show up with your family, how present you are and not distracted. So I just think that's always amazing and just the best
Mm.
feeling when a check-in comes in with my clients or a testimonial, and I'll literally just like stand up and dance or I'll squeal.
Definitely.
Um,
Yeah.
it's really exciting. So, say worst case scenario, all of your work was erased as far as the people you contacted, people you've met, there was nothing really physical left behind other than one message that you could leave to the rest of the world. And think of it kind of as like a billboard that everybody drives
Mm.
by, and there's only one sentence. What would you say?
Change is possible. Change is possible. You know, I look at my own life and the journey I've come through, and I was very insecure growing up, wanted to please everyone, wanted to be accepted, very insecure in my abilities. Even though I've had management roles and I've had amazing jobs and an incredible life, I still couldn't see myself in those. I still doubted myself. And so today, yeah, I would just tell everybody change is possible. And, you know, allow yourself to spread your wings and get out there and pursue your dreams and don't let anything hold you back. And yeah, So if I could say one thing, that'd be my billboard sign: change is possible.
That's amazing. Well, Denise, I just want to take a second to acknowledge you for making such a radical change in your life after, what seems like a setback, you turned into an opportunity. And,
Thank
a lot of people don't do that and they don't have that mindset. So I'm so glad I met you. Like, I already have, so many connections with you and similarities. And yeah, I can't wait for our friendship to build from here. But thank you so much for hopping on.
That's okay. Thank you for having me on, Em. And look, I believe all connections are made for a purpose. Search for the purpose and enjoy the relationships, however long they are. But I've loved connecting with you. Definitely, we have a kindred spirit. It's been great just to be able to chat with you the other day as well. And I'm just excited about your journey and so excited that we connected. I just think you guys are going to do awesome things, and your vision to help people understand their beauty in who they are while they're on the journey and before they start the journey really excites me for you. So, yeah, I'm just so grateful, and thanks for being a part of my life. It's awesome.
Definitely. And guys, if you want to check out Denise's amazing product, if you want to ask her any questions, I'm going to leave her information in the comments for you guys. And also the amazing video she sent me when we first started talking, explaining all of this. I just think that you